a lot of people, they will get through it, and almost like, well, they will kind of, they will rationalize it wasn't so bad, and that's what you do, and I made it through, so you've got to make it through too, and without really pausing and saying, is that a place that I actually want my kid to be?
Right.
And just because it's your school from back 20 years ago, you have to really know what to look for. And when you see it in a school, you'll see quickly how chaotic in some cases the environment is, how the expectations are lower for a category of people within that school. Anyway, that's interesting though, that you came away from that environment saying, I'm gonna make sure my kids are not exposed to this environment.
Right. I mean, it was just so many things that I experienced and just witnessed as a young person. And I will say that those experiences actually are what led me to be an educator myself. And in my early work, even before being, teaching college, it was one of my first jobs in my 20s, right out of school, was a case management and working with children, so-called at risk, but really children who were disconnected from school system. And, a lot of people, because the stereotypes people have of Black people who can speak is that you must have had this pristine upbringing, that you can't relate to me. And then so it would always be that shock when talking with young people that what my experiences were in the school system, and how I just really was not my brilliance was not supported. And I say my brilliance is meaning I think all children have brilliance, that and as educators, that is what our magic power is unleashing this brilliance. And it's so unique to every young person. And I recognize that I was not treated with care in the presence of adults. And that's something, I think that is probably one of the biggest letdowns of these environments, is that there's so many excuses, the bureaucracy, I have to do this, but just that, as a human person choosing to be an educator, you need to first understand, regardless of who you are reporting to, that you have this opportunity to unleash the brilliance of a young person who is looking at you to set the tone and the culture of this space in which they're in. And so many educators do not hone this skill well at all. And it's not something where, oh, well, I didn't do it. When you don't get it right that 1 year, that's a lifetime for a young person. And that is imprinting them for them to carry it on. I am 47 years old, and I still can remember specific instances where adults not only did not choose to treat me with care, but chose violence, whether it was in the hostility and aggressiveness in which they interacted with me, or looking the other way when seeing something take place in interactions. And those things matter. Yeah. And we don't talk about that. That cultivation of space is very pivotal, is very powerful. Sure. And so when we even talk about homeschooling, that's one of the major things that we converse about with parents, is the ability to curate this learning experience where children gravitate toward learning rather than trudge through it or still exist despite. The worst thing is to be able to survive despite. And your schooling experience should never be an obstacle that you trudge through,
Right.